Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is the second episode of my new series. I'm excited because I have a lot to talk about in the next couple episodes. I already have planned uh, on more episodes, talking about more photographers and talk about more about fine art photography. Um, I'm very happy to see that people are interested in that kind of episodic series, unplugged, unedited. Um, just me talking about fine art photography. I don't want. I don't want to. I want to continue not editing the videos or adding any music or visual aids or anything like that. Um, because I just think that this is more direct and this is more interesting. I don't know. I really don't know. I have been doing a lot of in other channels with other subjects. We have been working a lot into making visual aids and music stuff, and I wanted this to be about the subject and me talking about it, and that's it. I don't want anything else. And it's good to see that people are like positively um, responding to this kind of, you know, just give us that, like continue doing that. So anyway, without further delays, I want to jump into this episode's subject, and I'm excited because this is one of my most favorite photographers, and I love his book. His book is kind of like a whew, to me because it has a lot to digest, and I still I'm still learning about him. Like there are certain things that new things that I always discover when I read this book, and he has made many books, but this one in particular is for me the most um, condensed with knowledge book. So his name is John Hilliard, and this is his book. So he's a very interesting fine art photographer and artist. I want to consider him as an artist as well because his work is uh, very artistic and very abstract. And hold on, yeah, something popped out. A window popped. Those update video things. I don't know what they are. Anyway, so I'm gonna start by saying that this guy right here really pushed the limits in photography, and one of his main goals was to uh, work in depth um, and find the limits of the actual mechanisms of photography and the way the camera works. He researched a lot, and he worked really deeply uh, with film and the way you develop the film and you print. And his main thing was to be very abstract. And what he wanted to do essentially was to work with black and white photography so he can, because it's very easy to create something very abstract because you don't have the limits of you don't have the multiple color um, uh, when you develop a color film is more complicated than a black and white because you have to deal with the CMYK and this takes longer and it's more complicated, especially when you want to create something very abstractive and very artistic. Just having black and white, it helps you expand that. So I'm gonna show you, because I know it's kind of hard to explain those things unless you have a visual aid. So I'm gonna show you what I mean before I move forward into more depth. Um, where is it at? I just saw it. Damn it. So what he wanted to do was to create kind of like a painting, but with photography, and that was very new back then, like in the early 70s, 90s. So, for example, let me see. There, it's the bodies, um, and you see, just because it's a black and white, you can add like two film negatives in there, and it will come out as one when you actually print it. So that's why he kind of worked with black and white, because he could expand in this abstraction and include multiple images in one, and they merge by the blackness. So he really worked into that kind of stuff, and the more he was doing research and trying to find his identity as a photographer, he started developing his own style. And I really like his style because he creates patterns. He will initially create one big frame, and within the frame he will add multiple images. It could be the same picture, it could be different shots of the same subject, and he will create a pattern or a motif, such as these right here. Like, these are four um, photographs, but inside them he kind of photo collaged, like kind of different shots or different pieces of the frame. Mind you, he used a lot of large format, so there's a lot of material to use with large format. And or this is another example where he will take, and I actually have tried this. I've done some studies on it, and I've done something similar. So it's really cool. It's really fun. So he will take one picture and he will cut it in different, and this is very important on his work, because I'm going to explain to you why. So he will frame the same subject, frame and crop it in different areas. Hold on, because I can't see if it's recording. Okay, it's recording. So he will crop the image in different areas, and it will have a different meaning on each crop, because this is abstract photography. This is very highly uh, symbolic. So by having your main subject in the center and adding like something on the right and something on the left, this immediately creates a whole different meaning here, a whole different meaning here, a whole different meaning. So what he does, he's starting to realize that the viewer is watching the image, each image, differently. Each image creates a different emotional reaction to the person. And that is very critical in his work. He's observing the people who are looking at his work. And that played a very crucial part in his work, because the more he worked on these sorts of, I'm sorry, these are messages keep, damn it. Okay, let me see. Let me shut this down for good. Okay, it's bothering me. So yeah, the more he the reaction of the viewer played a major role on his development further down. So what led him to do, like throughout this study, he developed this sort of unique technique where you see a picture, but there is more. There are more layers on it. There's a depth in it, and I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the depth of field. When you're looking at the picture and you see the depth and you see things in the background, or you position objects behind other objects. I'm talking about you see a photograph and there is something between you and the photograph that's abstracting the main subject, and then that that creates an interesting problem. It makes you interact with the picture more. It makes you stay in front of that construct more, and it makes you curious, and it makes you want to explore what's behind it. And that was immediately his main thing, and that became his obsession. So throughout his work, you are start seeing, and I know for some people it's kind of hard to figure out, like, okay, why is he doing this? He's starting to hide his main subject in the center, and that immediately, like, unleashed something new in the whole concept, because by hiding the center of the picture, your eyes begin to travel around the center, and immediately the sides became the main subject and not the center, which means that, let's say there's an incident happening in front of us. By hiding the incident, your mind is looking around and is trying to figure out what is happening. So you're looking at people watching this incident in the center, and that immediately captures you and captivates you and your imagination, like, oh, what is happening? Kind of like rubbernecking. And that became very interesting for him, and he did several work. These are pretty popular. Pretty popular pictures of his. So this is one of his most iconic, and I love this picture. I really love this picture because you can see the people are like smiling, giggling. There's something happening behind this photo background drop that we can't see, and what makes it interesting is you looking at this picture and you're immediately trying to figure out what are they laughing at, what's happening behind this main, and it captures you, and you want to stay on this picture and keep watching it, trying to find clues and reflections, and maybe there will, hints and stuff. And I love that about him, because he managed to turn this and go even further down and explore even more than that. And he used this as a main tool to explore further down how the mind works, and from moving from a 2D construct, which is a picture, he started asking, like, what if I find this room and I create an environment and I create a situation and I block it and put people in it and see how people will react to it. So he's moving forward from photography to a performance or a theatrical kind of event. And let me skip to these parts, so I want to show you. So here's another example of the photographs where he's hiding an incident. I know it's kind of shiny. Damn it! I need to find a way to do with this. So he's hiding again. There's a projector, backdrop, and people are looking at it, and the people looking at it is the subject. And actually, you are the subject. You're the subject because you are trying to find what's going on, and that's the point of his work. Like, you're trying to find what is he hiding while he's looking at you, like, and he's laughing. Like, if you only knew. Or there's a different one here where there is, I think it's a painting or a projection that they're all looking at. It's very weird. So initially when you were looking at this picture, you're like, what the hell? Like, this guy's like hiding. But no, this is the point. This is the point. Oh, there's the original image I was looking for. So, see here, he merged two images with black and white because it's very easy to do when you have black and white, and he created one pattern. But that's like his initial work. He was like exploring depth into photography. Let me fast forward a little bit because I know I have a limited time to say all those things, and you can't say that in such a brief time. This is another beautiful picture, very unique. It's the boss. The boss is right there. Damn it! Why is it so reflective? I need to find a way to do this a different way. So here's the boss. And the secretary is right there. Right there. Where's my finger? There's my finger. She's right there. And you see her doing something, and he's doing something, and you can't figure out what is happening. And it's very, like, what the hell? And he's playing with you. He's playing with the viewer. He really wants to captivate you and stay there and trying to figure out what is happening. He's creating like an object within an object, and that's pretty cool. Here's another one with a mirror. You see how your eyes are like traveling around and going like deep and trying to figure out what is happening, and it's kind of like reminds me of a Renaissance painting, like a Renoir or something. It's very bizarrely interesting and smart. And then he took that. Oh, that's one of his most iconic images, because this is exactly where I was talking about creating 3 layers of depth. Like, you have your main picture, and you see this, and you immediately think that this is a mirror, and this is you, and this is the picture that you're looking at here. But it's not. This is all mind created. Like, in your head, you're thinking that this is the picture you're looking at, but it's not. And then the lady's wearing red, so red is very captivating, and the white background of the picture creates this empty space, and it's very eye-capturing. You can sit here and watch this picture and write a whole essay about this picture right there. That's what I love about fine art photography, because it's more than a picture. You want to say something, and you want to captivate your viewers, and it's not about scrolling and looking and liking for 2 seconds. You look at this photograph, and you know there's a story behind it. You know there is a meaning, and you know that this person who made this picture worked really hard to create a concept behind it. Again, this is another one of his ultimately, this is like a a fake situation that he directed. He uses models and actors, and he sets the whole thing and takes a picture of it by hiding it, you know? It's most likely nothing is happening behind it. They're pretending that there's something happening, and the whole thing is hiding it as the actual subject. So yeah, after that, I think he pushed his limits further, and I think it's another book. There's another book of his where um, he took this concept and he created empty rooms and empty spaces where he could create depth with 3D elements. So I know you've seen certain pictures of areas that they draw lines or they make a drawing, but you can only see the 3D drawing if you sit at a certain spot of this space. He played with this a little bit, but that led him into more architectural, abstract installations, and that led to something else. But on this video, I only wanted to talk about his photography and how captivating his work is, and that's what I love about fine art photography, because it pushes your limits in ways that you don't even realize that it is, and that's why I love about it. And I understand that nowadays people are like looking for fast food photography, and I'm not talking about the actual food. I'm talking about fast paced scrolling work, but we forget how these things have meaning, and these things are gonna stay in the history of photography, and not other things that last seconds and you just like them and you forget about them the next day. So yeah, stay tuned. Let me know if you like this video. Subscribe on the channel if you're into that kind of stuff. I'm gonna continue presenting work from fine art photographers, and talk about fine art photography. Going down the road, I have a bunch of subjects I want to talk about, but first I want to introduce a bunch of photographers and create like some sort of foundation, and then we're gonna keep going and pushing more into talking about the techniques and all kinds of stuff. So let me know if you like this video. I hope this is something you enjoy. Thanks for watching. Thank you.